What's up guys, welcome back to another video. So today we are going over L cuts. So I'm really excited for this. I took a little detour, as you guys know, to do some basic concepts for magic and cardistry and stuff. So they're there. If you want to learn them, you can go learn them. But for today, I'm hopping back on that, I guess you could call it advanced cardistry sort of thing. I've seen some people label this as like kind of basic stuff and just lump it in with like scissor cut and rev cut and stuff. And I've seen other people treat it like a super advanced move. So I think it probably falls somewhere in between. For me, it is a bit harder, but that's just for me. It might be different for you guys or other people. But I'd say this is definitely on the harder side of cardistry. It might not be super advanced, but it's, you know, it's getting up there. And in addition to this, it looks super nice, especially when combined with both hands. It creates, I don't know, you guys have seen it, creates a really cool effect, and you can play with the timing and all that. So really excited for today. I remember when I first started getting into cardistry, like before I could even do the Charlier cut and stuff, and I was just, you know, on YouTube watching videos of guys doing cardistry. The L cut was actually one of the moves that I saw and was like, wow, you know? And to think that I'm at the point now where I can do that, like then I never thought that I'd ever be like that good to be able to do that. Not to say that I'm super good right now or anything, but like, anyways, that's, I don't know, it's kind of crazy to think about. So without further ado, grab yourselves a deck of cards. Let's hop right into the tutorial. All right, great. So here's kind of how this is gonna work. So eventually you want it to be done with both hands, and it can be done out of sync like this, right? Or it can be done in sync. Now you don't see it in sync as much, but it can be done too. It's just a different sort of look. So it looks sort of like this. Feels kind of weird doing that, but you can do it like that. And the timing and all that is really up to you, but we'll get more into that later. So first off, how to do it. So I'd recommend starting with the hand that you normally do all your one-handed cuts with. So if you're right-handed, that would normally be your left hand and vice versa. So go ahead, start with that hand and take about half the cards. Just leave the other half aside. And here's kind of how this is gonna work. So you're gonna take the deck and you're gonna start in dealer's grip, right? Which again is thumb here, 3 fingers here, index there. And you're going to move it back into this almost gambler's cop sort of grip. So if you know the gambler's cop, when you take a card and you do like that sort of thing with it, and it's in that grip, it's sort of similar to that, and it's sort of similar to Tenkai too. I'll show you in a second. But you're gonna take the deck and you're gonna push it back with your index finger, just a bit. And when you get about there, your thumb's gonna take over and push it farther back. Right, now you're gonna want to stop pushing it back right about there. Some people like pushing it back farther and find that more comfortable. For me, right about here is where I like to stop. I'd say just push it back, like don't let it stick out past this point where that part is, like don't let it stick out past there, but push it back about where it feels comfortable. Be slightly different for everybody. And you're gonna reach over the top right now that you're in this position, which is practically dealer's grip, but just farther back. You're gonna reach over the top with your thumb and grab the corner. Now, for this part, if you have a larger reach with your thumb, like if you can just grab it, you can straight on go from dealer's grip and push it back. If you don't, which, you know, I don't, you'd push it back and you'd push it out a little bit. So that'd look like this, right? So you grab it with your thumb and you push it out a bit. So now I've created a little bit of space there, so when I curl it over, my thumb goes farther. So you want it just about where your thumb can reach. So if you need to push it out a bit like that, that's all right. But again, don't go past your knuckles here, because if you're there, then that's not a good place to be. So push it out just only as much as you absolutely need to get your thumb on the top, and then do so. Now about the angle of the grab, it's not quite tenkai, because tenkai, when you do this and you like vanish a card or do whatever, it's meant to conceal the card like that, so it's a flat angle. But with this, when you do this, it's kind of this sort of angled thing. If you stick out your index finger, it should almost be level. Not quite, so not quite there, but a bit down. But it should be very close to where your index finger would point. It's kind of how I like to think of it. So if you push it back and grab it, stick your index finger out, should be just a bit farther this way. So again, from an over shoulder perspective, it's sort of this weird looking grip, and tenkai's here and it's just moved down a bit. Now from here, right, once you have it in this clip, the main motion is your fourth finger is going to be reaching up, grabbing a card or two and bringing it down into your palm, and then your pinky is going to be flipping it up, and you're going to be catching it in a clip just like this. All right, so don't worry, I'll break it down, but in general, then you add in wrist movements, and that's kind of what it's going to look like. All right, so back into our clip, push it back, push it out a bit, clip it. So now we're here. You're going to hold it palm up, right, like this. You're going to reach up with your fourth finger, and you should just be able to reach the top. Now, I'd recommend doing this right next to your thumb, so towards the very front of the card, right about there. Like I could probably reach there, but this is just easier. Reach close to your thumb and break off. Maybe you can even do it with one card, but maybe break off 2 or 3 cards. It doesn't really matter at first, but just break off a bit, right? And you should be in this position. If you're not here, I'll give you a second to get there. So from your clip, fourth finger brings it down, right? Now, you're not gonna let go with your fourth finger. You're gonna keep your fourth finger on the card, and you're gonna bring it down as far as you can. Now don't strain too much, but you should be able to get it almost 90 degrees, right? So you should bring it down there. And now your pinky is gonna push up, causing it to pivot right here, right? So if you look, you're here, your pinky pushes up and it pivots right at that point. So it's kind of pivoting between your fourth finger and this point. So it's not perfectly clean on the line, but that's another reason you should grab close to your thumb, is just so it pivots cleanly. So you pivot it up, and then you catch it with your index finger here, your middle finger on the side, and your fourth finger behind it. All right, now I know that's a lot. So once again, from the top, you're here in your clip, boom, fourth finger brings it down to about there, pinky pushes it. Make sure you press in with your fourth finger so it bites against your hand and this packet here a bit, just so it'll pivot there nicely. Push it up and clip it, just like that. So from an over shoulder perspective, actually wrong hand, here, right? You grab it, you're here, grab it with your fourth finger, you pull it down. Sorry for switching hands, but it's a better angle. And you push up with your pinky, right? So it's swiveling on that point, right? And then you're catching it just like this. So your fourth finger and pinky should be on this side. Your middle finger should be wrapped around the corner like that. Your index finger should be on the back. And this should form this nice perpendicular thing, just like that. And it should allow you to do that again. So one more time, you're here, and you're pulling down, and you push it up with your pinky, and it should slide against the side nicely, just like that. Slide up the side. And when it lands, it should land between your fourth finger and middle finger, right? And you tilt forward, So it's there, and your middle finger just wraps around like that. So if I take this away, the reason I'm spending so much time on this clip is because it's probably one of the most important parts of the L cut, just to get the clip right, because once you get the clip right, the cards won't fall out and it'll allow you to add in the wrist movement and all that. So it's this position right here. So this part's against your thumb, not your thumb, sorry, your hand, the palm of your hand, and your middle finger is grabbing it. Literally none of the other fingers matter. But then in the actual L cut, you'll release your middle finger a little bit and it'll rest against your middle finger and your index, right? So you should be comfortable holding a card like this. So you can practice that. Just maybe even take the whole packet, right? Just hold it with your fourth finger there, bracing the bottom, your middle finger just grabbing it, and your index on the back, right? And it should just kind of sit in your hand. It's like the way you'd hold a phone, right? If you're holding your phone like this, but move that up to your fourth finger and then tilts it down a bit. It's actually an interesting way of thinking about it. I'm not sure if that makes sense. So you're going from here up to your fourth finger, right? So that, then you tilt it up a bit, and that's kinda how you want it to be, except a bit more against your thumb. So once again, you're here, you bring it down, you tilt it up, you're in the clip. It's great. Now you gotta do it again. So now you're gonna reach in, right? You bring your fourth finger to your thumb and your thumb to your fourth finger at the same time. So it's like this movement. So it moves inward. And you bring another packet out, and as you open up, you do the same thing. Now, when you're doing this without wrist movement, tilt it forward a bit. So tilt the whole packet towards the front, so you can watch my right hand do it, so that when you flick it up, it'll rest in that clip, right? So when I do it again, the cards should fall straight into that clip. So fourth finger goes down, pinky goes up, bah. So once you're done with that, you're gonna wanna work on your wrist movements. So a quick overview on that. So you're gonna push it in, and when you're here, right, you're going to move your wrist inward a bit, rotate your wrist inward, break off a packet, and then flick your wrist outward to catch it, clip it so the cards don't fall, then rotate your wrist inward again, rotate it in, break, flip it out, and in, break, flip it out. And you can just do this very subtly every time you do it. And if you do it right, it should create this sort of cool flowing motion, right? Now, I don't do it the best. Some people do it a bit more fluidly. But the general idea is to create this sort of flowing thingy. So, rotate your wrist inward, break a packet, rotate your wrist out, catch it, and pretty much do that until you're done with the packet, and you'll have the cards in clip. Now, when you do that with both hands, you can get the sort of really cool, distinctive L cut look, where it seems like cards are just popping up out of nowhere and just sort of appearing, and you're catching them. And so you just want to synchronize that. Left hand goes up and clips it, and right once my left hand clips it, my right hand's already breaking off another one, and right as my right hand clips it, my left hand's already broken off another packet, and right hand's already broken another one, and it just kind of goes like that until you're done. So the closer's up to you. I'll let you guys figure out what you want to do for that. Timing wise, yeah, I kind of went over how you want to pretty much time it. So as you catch this one, you're opening this one, and as you catch that one, you open the next one. So I'll move a bit so you guys can kind of see the timing of that. And that's kind of how it works. If you do it synchronized, again, same wrist movements, and you're just flicking your wrists outward at the same time. Alright, so that was the video. Hopefully you guys enjoyed that. Hopefully I explained it well enough. Like, I get that conceptually, it's a pretty easy concept, but to actually execute it, it's the repetition, the angles, the timing, all that stuff that makes L-cuts a more difficult move to perform. So feel free to rewatch the video or do whatever you need to do to catch all those little nuances and to get yourself you know, what you need to get practicing to get proficient at this move. Yeah, I got some other videos planned. I'm really hyped about that, so if you're not already subscribed, feel free to do so down below. I made this new makeshift diffuser, so the lighting over here, if I look, the lighting looks a lot nicer. Yeah, comment below, what do you guys think about that? It's literally like notebook paper and masking tape and some stuff, but I think it's working out okay. Gotta do what you gotta do. Also, there is going to be an unboxing and review video coming out soon also for the Jerry's Nuggets that I used today. So that's a really cool deck. Yeah, I think that about wraps it up. Don't have much else to say, so stay tuned. I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace!